Just a few of you are still coming trying to worship the Lord. Just a few of you are trying to come back and open the door. Just a few of you was trying to, amen, come into the house of God and let them know there's still somebody down here that Lord God wants you, that loves you, that needs you, that wants you to inhabit in this place. As long as there was a few of you, God said, if you call me, I'll be right there. And I won't stop you. I'll be there for you. I won't leave you. I'll change you. Hallelujah. Seems like you didn't have much, just a few. But now God has sent, amen, like God sent King Asa. He's sending compassion out and let you know that, hallelujah, now it's time to get back into worship. Now it's time to get rid of all this other junk. Now it's time to cast everything away, not like God. Let's in your life and give your heart back to God. Now it's time for you to realize who the God, amen, of the King of your father is. His name is Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. After God used King Asa to defeat, I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit today. We got another service to go to, and we won't have service tonight. After God defeated this 1,000,000-man army with 300 chariots, fear came upon all of the nations around them. Fear came upon everybody. It was 300 years later did the Ethiopians dare to come and fight against the people of God again. If you do what God tells you to do, it's going to be a long time before they lay you off your job. I can't get no help. If you do what God tells you to do, it's going to be a long time for you lay on your house table again. If you do what God told you to do, amen, you'll always have food on your table. It's going to be a long time for you and your kids to be hungry again. Oh, I wonder if I can get some help in here. But the sure, hallelujah, as God blessed them, that all the nations around them feared, and they went back into the city with spoils so rich out that they probably couldn't even handle it all. God sent a prophet. Yes, he did. Said if you seek God, he'll be there for you. But if you leave him, he'll leave you. King Asa dwelt 25 years in the land, enjoying all those riches and all those spoils, and the people with him. Amen. Amen. King Asa wasn't the only one enjoying the spoils, the people with him. Amen. It was 25 years later. Amen. Then, after 25 years had passed, in chapter 16, amen, in the 36th year of King Asa reign, Baasha, the king of Israel, those other 10 Israeli nations that didn't want to trust in God, Jeroboam died, and Baasha was now the king. 25 years later, he come up against King Asa. The sin that King Asa done, and he committed a sin, after 25 years of peace, amen, he got King Ben-Hadad, who was the king of Syria, amen, to go against, amen, that king that came against him. Ben-Hadad, amen, was the king that Asa hired to fight his battle. Amen? Listen to me real close. Baasha brought all of his people up, Baasha, the king of Israel, and started building Ramah, a city around Judah. And he besieged, his purpose was to besiege Judah, that nobody would come out or nobody would go in. He started building a massive structure. And as he was building the structure, amen, King Asa looked out and he seen all them people building that structure. They were going to try to starve them out. Nobody go in, nobody come out. Amen. So King Asa went into the temple of God. Listen to me closely. He got the gold that his father dedicated to the house of God, and he rededicated. He got the silver that his father dedicated, and he rededicated with the vessels. And everything he took of his personal wealth, the gold and the silver and the vessels, he went into the house of God, and he got all of this stuff, give it to his people, give it to his men. I want you to take all the things of the house of God, take it over to the king of Syria, give it to him, and give him this letter. My father and your father had a lead that we would be friends. Now I need some help. I need you to come up here, king of Syria, and go against the king of Israel. When he done that, took the things out of the house of God, gave it to this heathen king. The heathen king did not come to Judah to fight against them as they were building the wall. He went to the cities that they come from. And when the king of Israel heard that, amen, the cities were getting destroyed, he left from building Ramah, and he went back to fight against the king of Syria. While he went back and he left all of this undone, Asa come out and he took all of those stones and he built another fortified city. About that time, another prophet come on the scene. Amaziah, the son of Obed, was gone off the scene. Now, there may be a time when I go off the scene, co-pastor. But just as surely as this church stand here, God's going to send somebody else. I can't get no help again. I'm preaching a little bit better than y'all acting. Hallelujah. Amen. And when he went, amen, and he done this sin in the sight of God, prophet come on, amen, to tell him what you had done. Hamanah, the prophet Hamanah, he came and he told him, the sin you have sinned against God is great. You done wrong, and God, amen, is going to judge you now. You know what Asa done? He took this man, this prophet of God, locked him up in a prison house. And for the rest of his years, he did not see God no more. Asa cut God off because he didn't like what the prophet said. Jesus. When you cut God off because you don't like what the prophet said, God is going to deal with you. Amen. He cut him off to the point to where he got mad and upset. A mean spirit, angry spirit came upon him. He did not want to see God anymore. And he died out of the will of God. After God had brought this man to a place to fight all of his enemies for him and give him 25, 30 years of peace, at the end of his life, just a few years till he was about to die, he lost it with God. What are you saying about it? I'm saying that you can serve God, amen, and trust God, but if you're going to do it, you got to do it all the way. You can't hold his hand for it. Serve God half-heartedly. Jesus. He lost it with God. And he died and was buried in a sepulchre that he prepared for himself with his fathers, with Abijah, with Solomon, who done the same thing. At the end of his life, he lost it with God. With Rehoboam, who I believe done the same thing. Amen. God will send somebody. But if some of us don't make it, some of us ain't. Next Sunday, I'll be talking about the next king that came on the scene. He trusted God. And he trusted God so that he wanted, even though there were prophets all around, he wanted a true prophet from God. God's going to raise up prophets after his own heart.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
Not just somebody that's going to come and prophesy and tell you good stuff, but somebody's going to tell you the truth. Amen. Amen. Let's stand in this place.